I'm trying out a new mode on my phone. See how this works. So, Jesse's bike, Gen 4. Mike's bike, Mike I. See if the battery actually held a charge. And then my bike, Gen 4, 171. My other bike, my first build. This one is getting new parts. New head, new jug, new piston, new cam. This is the A13s. And it's either an A9 or an A13. Honestly, are the two best ones. A9 more for a skinnier tire. I like the 13 for a bigger tire. You know, a fatter tire. But it is what it is. But yep, and that's gonna go on there. So I will try to come back and make this all in one video once I get the everything off. Alright, so obviously it didn't pause, so this is just an add-on video, so I'll try to make it mesh. Just clean up my stuff. Got a performance exhaust if I really want to do it. But new jug, new piston, spark plug that runs a little hotter, because with these you need to run rich, and when you run rich you run a hotter plug. Bang bang boy. And then sprocket, piston rings, yeah, no preset stuff, motherfucker. Uni for my forward facing carb, and then we got the performance cylinder head racing. Yay. Yeah, if you're interested in how much this costs, or if you want it done to yours, let me know. Work something out. I have fun doing it. Prices are a lot cheaper if you do it with me. Just hang out. Alright, well, starting to take the covers off. I just wanted to make sure I had all the parts I need, all the tools I need. I hate starting something, not finishing it the same day. So I'm going to take the exhaust off all the way down, intake off, and then the shroud here. So, alright. Alright, so took the exhaust nuts off. And the shroud. Just kind of giving you like a step-by-step. Probably what I'm going to do, seeing how it's raining. Probably not be in a hurry to get it all back together and maybe spray that. Be nice to get a new pipe, but all I got to do is take that off and the exhaust will be off, and that looks like that. And this video is not going to line up at all, so I was probably at a different angle. But the exhaust is off. Bam. Now, going to have to reuse the exhaust, but eventually I plan on upgrading that to something to this extent, because this thing is my pride and joy.
Where's the old muffler for it? That carbon fiber one.
Oh, up there? Yeah, well, yeah, it looked cool. It looked something like that, but it just, it didn't add any performance. It just made it loud. That Yoshimura is insane. But this is where we are. Boom. Next thing to do, we need to do is take the carb off. And I just clocked it, so should be an easy thing, and I'll stop it and probably mess up the angle again. And then we got the carb off. It was pretty easy. What's up, Buck?
So,
no, just take the intake off and the clocking flange off, and then we will see the other side of the engine.
Bye!
See you later. Alright, so Junior is taking the rest of the intake off. All that is just taking the clocking flange off. That just changes really how the carb fits. While he's doing that, I'm inspecting the carb. Just recently took it apart, rejetted it. This is going to be a big bore kit, so this carb's going to have to come off again once we get it running to get it running right. This is only a 24, you know. That'll keep the performance at bay, not make it so snotty as like that one's got a I think a 28. Yeah, I put a 28 in there. I was going to go 30. That would have been overkill. So right now I'm working with a 24 big bore. Update that to like a 26 or 28. Get more performance. But let's just get it running. Get it running. But going to put filter on it. It's more of a look thing than anything. They are good filters, but I went with this one just because it fit the theme. But, is that off?
No.
Just about?
Oh, just about.
Alright, well, we'll update you in a minute.
Oh, you went and got Caesars?
Yeah, we're video recording. Hi.
So, I got the seat up, by the way.
Alright, it makes it easier. Alright, so that's the head, jug, all the stuff we're taking off. You want to start with the 4 bolts going around. Once you take that off, you'll be able to see the valves and all that happy, fun stuff. And then you gotta take those 2 bolts off. Once you take those 2 bolts off, you'll be able to take that off. But first, you gotta take that off, and then the 4 case bolts are inside. Alright, well, I'm taking that off now. Well, Junior left me. His girlfriend showed up. I would too. I would leave me too. That's alright. So what I'm doing right now is just taking these bolts off. Already took the intake off. Spark plug is out. Spark plug didn't look bad, honestly. So I had it jetted pretty good for what it is. Just a stock 150. Just this big back tire is a lot to move. So that's why we're upgrading it to a 171. No bore. So no bore means that it's going to line right up. And you don't have to bore the case. And this is the case right here. So you can get a bigger case and essentially make it a 232, which is insane. Like, let's do it if I had the money. But I can help you do it if you're down. That thing will burn rubber, literally. But alright, so I'm taking the bolts off. 1, 2, 3, 4. Once you take that off, you're going to see the timing adjusters and the cam that we were talking about. What's in it right now is an A9, I do believe. We'll see if it's if it tells us. If not, and while I take off all the parts, just touch up the paint. You know, that's all from like hitting it with tools before we put it back together. All right. Well, I'm gonna stop it now, and I'll show you once that cover's off. Alright, so I got all the bolts off. That's the current view. So this should just slide right off. No, not slide off, but you know what I mean. Alright, so what we're going to have to do before we go even further with taking everything apart, we want to make sure it's top dead center. And the way you do that is, that's your cam. Let me turn on the light here. There we go. So that's your cam right there. So what you want is those, it's going to be 2 holes right there, if you can see them both. But you want them to line up where the big hole is there, and then it'll all create a line. So I'd say right there is top dead center when it comes to the sprocket and valves. Meet your valves. These are your adjusters. Boom, boom. And the top one. Now, one of the reasons why I'm going through this upgrade right now is the fact that I lost one of those little nuts right there. Right there. And I took that cover off, and I swore I heard something fall. And I can't find it for the life of me. And this is like 2 weeks ago. So I'm thinking, you know, there's obviously no way for it to get past the valves. So I took all this apart, even took the chain off, but it may have went down there. So we got to do a little bit of detective work as well. But even if we lose timing here, we can visually see it here once we take the jug off. Because here's the head, spark plug, exhaust, intake, jug, piston. Yeah. Sorry, thinking out loud. But the other way that we check it on the actual crank is right there. So my timing might have been off just slightly because the T is for top dead center, and then use this line right here. So when it comes to timing on here, that's top dead center about right there. And see how it's just a little advanced? Might have had, you know, also when you put pressure on it, that's one thing I didn't discuss, is make sure that you twist that screw before you undo those. That's your belt tensioner. So loosen that up. Once you loosen that up, take that off, and then you have full control of the chain, and that will change your timing when you set it up. So it's definitely trial and error. Alright, well, I'm going to get back to it. I'm going to take the head off, and then I'll come back. Alright, I just want to give you a little update. So I took the chain tensioner out. That goes right there. It pushes the chain down for tension on the chain here. That's your cam. Let me turn the flashlight on. My battery's about dead. That's why I'm fortunately can't do one whole video, because I don't want to wait for it to charge. But it's the chain tensioner. So essentially what I'm doing now, just taking these off. These essentially hold everything on. Gotta make sure you torque them right, or you can blow your seals. We're essentially replacing from that crack all the way up. Alright, well, I'm gonna rip this shit out. It's getting late. Let my phone charge a little bit. Alright, another video time. Just got some Dunkin' Donuts. Carbs out. So this is the valve guides. The original sprocket. New sprocket. Dunkin' Donuts. Dunkin' Donuts and Dunkin' Donuts. Alright, so if we come over here. So, it's pretty, well, fucking flashlight, man. Sorry, peeps. There you go. So, that's the head. See a nut down there at all, anybody? I'm wondering. Alright, so, take the head off. Just take off what we just did. Chain can be a little bit of a bitch. But then you take the bolts off. I already took that one off. And then this one comes off. Look how long that bolt is. and then the head will come off. Now you do have these guides here. You don't want to lose them. Kind of holds everything together. But head is off. There's the piston. Don't really look too bad to my standards. But that bottom part is the jug and the piston, and that's what we're going to replace to give it more power. Might not seem like a big upgrade, but if you rid in the 171 versus the 150, it is a substantial upgrade. Another thing to consider is this is still going to have a small carb. And I'm getting an incoming call. I'm declining. I just declined that. I don't know if you heard that. But, alright, so, this is stock. It's the intake. All this is just the material I use, even the stuff that fell down. It wasn't in there to begin with. Spark plug hole. Emissions crap right there. The exhaust. There. Looks like I had a little bit of a leak right there. Hard to tell. Stock valves, intake. There's only one intake, one exhaust valve. You know, makes it easy. Alright, well now I'm going to take the jug off and I will video once that's set. Alright, so that's what we got right now. This is the original jug, and honestly the cylinder wall does not show any damage, so honestly if someone messes up their poop, that might be one. Nope, this is a little bit of funk. That's the stock piston. That's the crank. And did notice some damage here. So that screw might actually, or not rather, may have actually caused some damage. Alright, just a little update here. About ready to take the piston off the connector rod here. And I do believe I solved the mystery. So I lost a nut, and I thought it fell on the ground, and we got damage there. And as you see, everything's fine back there, except an exit wound. Now that just goes down to my oil pan, so I think I'm okay. Alright, so I got the old piston out versus the new. So, and then I got the rings, just going to follow the same ring pattern, make sure you go alternating. Boom, boom, boom. Alright, thanks for keeping with it. Alright, so put the rings on. Skinny, a little bit fatter than the compression ring, which is right there. You can see it. Yeah, you can see it right there, a little bit better on the old one. Then just need to hook that up to the crank and slide the jug on and work our way back. Alright, so got the new piston in. New seal. Just got to put the new jug in. And then get everything timed and going. Alright, new jug is in. It's got bolted up. new piston. Let's see what. But yeah, pretty quick install. All you gotta do now is put the dowels in. Put the new head on. Yeah, put the intake back on, exhaust back on, and done. Alright, so this is a shroud cover. Gonna have to either clean it, repaint it. Timing's done. Just need to put the head cover on, but I'm gonna start it before that. Make sure that the valves are good after a few rotations. Because I'm running a electric pump, I had to hook up the carburetor. Usually I just run it dry, not really dry, but without firing, just to make sure it all meshes. But I'm going to have to actually start it and let it sink in, and then torque down the bolts to spec. But pretty much done. And she's geeking out over there. Say bye.
Bye.
No, really, it's okay. Alright, well, it's hooked back together. And the car is right here. I can't hear him, I can hear you only, so that's funny. Exhaust is back on.
Exactly. So.
Oni. Alright, well, I need to rotate it, get it to fire, and then check the valve clearance, and then check the torque of the head bolts, and then put the head cover back on, and I'll be back. You're ridiculous. And starting to put the cowl back on, intakes on, top end here. Is the exhaust bolts. Just tightening everything up. Make sure the battery's getting charged, because pretty much gonna have to start it, let it run for like 5 minutes, turn it off, let it cool all the way down, heat cycle that way for a few, get the ring set in. Hopefully the stock motor, or starter rather, will be able to start it. And that's one issue I had with mine. It took forever. That's why when you give it, the start, it doesn't just start up. It's got to like build up power. So, work in progress. Alright. If it starts, I will take a video. If not, I might have to charge up the battery. Alright, well, took longer than anticipated, but just because of the way I got everything set up. I had to fix the ground. Still don't know if the starter is going to start, but this is what it was doing. Boom. Melted a wire there, so I'm going to have to fix that. Alright, well, I had to fix the ground because it was melting the wire right there, and I've yet to start it, so let's see what it does. The rings need to set, so that's normal. But there it is, EDK install. Now I just gotta tune it.